Hello. We're gonna continue some Euro Truck Simulator. Let's take a look. How's the audio? Is the audio okay? Let me know if it's a little loud or anything. I'm gonna do freight. Wait, where am I? I'm down here. Why am I doing that? Can I do a quick job? Why is it telling me no? Sort by. Let's do this one. Okay, yeah, that's what I was worried, is that it might not be producing much sound. Okay. So you hear it now, right? Yeah. Okay, the music very well could just be very quiet. But I appreciate you looking out for that. So we're gonna do a supposedly quick job with, that looks like gas. Wait.
Damn, girl. Damn, girl. You shit with that ass?
Yeah. I am very far away from the pickup. That's why I did a quick job. And I know that up here where the thing pops up, it is going to look a little, if there is other text here, it's not going to show up terribly well. I won't get around to fixing that. If I do a shout out command, how do I do? I go to here. I can do a shout out from here. I can do this. I now have this pop up. So I put a background on this, so that way it would show up properly. Obviously the background is not perfect, but it does show up shout outs now on the video. Yeah, these are all things that I've spent the weekend learning how to do. Because oh right, my GPS is in Chinese. Oh, okay. So let me read this. Check when the job expires. If it's less than 10 hours in game time, then you may need to quick travel to where you have to pick up the trailer so that the job doesn't expire in game time before you ever get to pick it up. So that's actually why I did a quick job, because I noticed where I was and I was like, everything is telling me to go up here and my truck is down here. So I said, let's just do a quick job. And also, if I have a wreck, it's not my truck. I don't have to worry about it. Maybe I get slightly less money, but you know, considering how much I have to pay in damages when I crash my car, Thanks for the lurk. I don't see any cars. Oh wow, that's, I just realized this is multiple trailers. This, oh jeez. It's all good. You're looking out for me, and that's how I view it. I figured this would be a perfectly fine test game to do all of the redeem stuff with, because minimal UI, and I don't care if people play the sounds too often. I only have the cooldown.
10 out of 10. I would fuck this chicken up. I mean, turkey.
Yeah. 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 I've got a couple that are Helldivers related. They are exactly what you would expect. They're much more, it's on the can of what it is. Yep, that's Bunny. She says some very unhinged things. That's kind of the charm of it. How would I tell if cruise control is activated on this? Oh, okay, I see where it is. Yep, that is Bunny. Yeah, I try to put in the description who it is and a rough idea of what they say, but I don't always tell you everything. Oh, I'm speeding. I'm speeding. And I do have a whole bunch that are not on there yet because I have so many clips. Oh, I also added a sound alert for Caffeinate. It's actually 2 different sounds that it could play. Both of them are Helldivers related. Man, this car hasn't stalled at all yet. They must be really taking care of it, not running into enough signs. Yeah. So, I've actually got, I think I've got 3 different ones of her saying that. I only have 1 active at this time, but I just learned how to randomize stuff. That's why the caffeine one has 2 different ones. So what I plan to do is I plan to just put all of her saying that in and just have it be random as to which one it is. Oh, I gotta slow down there. I noticed the toll thing and said, oh, those are usually 50. Yeah, Norway definitely seems like it is a beautiful country. I think the sound redeems are also going to be louder for you than they are for me, because a lot of the redeems for me seem to be muffled by the game audio, the car engine, and that's because I had to. Oh, uh-oh. Hey, we'll be uh-oh. Hey, truck, you might not want to be in the way. Why can't I knock that one down? Hey, oh, well, you know. Whoopsies. Dude, stop coming. Yeah, this is... Oh, am I free? I am free. They should let me knock down those signs too. Oh. Man. Just imagine how hard it's going to be if I decide to manually park this thing. That's going to be horrible. You know, I should probably move my skull a little bit. I could move it down a little bit. Two, one. I just got to speed. You're making me go even slower. Yeah, there was a point in time where I was interested in being a truck driver. I will say though, I don't have a license. Yes, genuinely. Like I was contacting trucking places, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in a job that involves driving the truck across the country. Can I have a job like that? And I actually got calls from people, and they were like, yo, we're always looking for new truck drivers. What license do you have? I don't have one. How do I get one? How do I get one for a truck? Because I thought it would be more interesting at that time. I thought it would be way more interesting for me to, my first license to be for driving big ass trucks rather than driving a car. Also, I think driving across the country is pretty cool. I like travel. I think that's part of why I usually go for the long distance ones, because then it's more like what I would be doing if I were to actually be a truck driver. I would definitely be going for the the long distance drives. If it wasn't so automated at this point, with like it seems like it's going to be a dying profession in the next decade. But oh, loan installment. Okay, it's like, what did I do? Yeah. If I got the opportunity, I would be interested primarily for the travel purposes. See, I don't even know what you mean by special maneuvers. Oh yeah, the text should show up better and for longer now. So for anyone who is watching the VOD, they can actually take the time and read what is there. It should be on screen for about 25 seconds now. It was on screen 15 seconds before, and the background was way too transparent. Yeah, you're on TV. Not too many people typically watch my VODs, to be fair. But for the people who do, even if you never leave a comment, I do appreciate you watching it. But if you do leave a comment, I will read it, because I get so few comments right now. I read every comment I get. So there was one comment I got from a guy recently, and by recently I mean like a week or two ago. And he said, "Man, I'm so glad that you switched the skull from the earlier model." So I had while I was still trying to decide which model, which skull to go with, because I make my own PNG tuber stuff. While I was figuring all of that out, I was trying to decide how, oh, I need to slow down. I was figuring out what kind of teeth I wanted. And I ended up going with square teeth, because the round teeth looked weird to me. And I also added a bit more of a chin. So the top part is pretty similar, except it has square teeth instead of round teeth now. But the bottom part, I sort of had to redo the whole thing pretty much. Yeah, so the Helldivers variant is actually the very first one that I made, and I just drew all the teeth by hand, and I said, no biggie, it's all good. And that one, the whole reason the number one reason the teeth are crooked is because I drew all the teeth by hand, or technically with a mouse. But yeah, I did everything manually. Yodran. Okay, we should be able to go a little faster now, because we don't have so many turns where we could flip over. watch, I'm gonna flip over up here because I said that. Okay, we're going 50. I know I can go 80. I'm not gonna go 80 until I get out of all these turns. But yeah, so I made the very realistic version of a skull first because I already knew exactly how I wanted it to look. The only exception would probably be the teeth. The teeth are a little bit off probably from what I imagined, but they work. They look real. I mean, you know, for a drawing, but they're a little bit crooked and everything. More like how I feel like yeah, the cutesy one is the one that nearly everyone prefers. Seems like I'm going downhill because I'm getting extra speed. Yeah, the realistic one that I have definitely it probably put a few people off at first. The cutesy one is a lot more the chibi one. I think it's a chibi at least. It is a lot more visually appealing. We're driving. All working out. I'm just looking at all the turns coming up and I'm like, I hope none of them are too sharp. Because with these two trailers, I could see myself tipping over easily. Yeah, I never drive anywhere. The closest to driving that I have done outside of getting a permit once upon a time has been e-bikes in Asia. So I don't know how it is in Europe, but in Asia, driving a car is a very chaotic experience. But driving an e-bike is way easier. And since I typically had a very tight schedule when I was going places, I didn't have time to get stuck in traffic. So I just drove my e-bike everywhere. And if I didn't need to drive there, if it was a casual situation, like, oh, I'm going to the store, it was better to just take the bus because the bus would drop me off directly in front of my apartment, and then I didn't have to deal with parking a car, because parking is also, that's a real pain. But when you have an e-bike, you can just park like right in front of where you are, because they always have e-bike parking very close to your apartment. But car parking that's a different story. Okay, this seems like a big turn coming up, so I'm going to slow down. I feel like this is possibly a turn where I flipped over this particular area, because I've only flipped over on my side one time, and I'm pretty sure it was like at a point like this. And I see we have more big turns coming up, so I'm just going to keep it at 40. So I'm doing this today. I'm probably gonna do Infinity Nikki tomorrow. There's a game my brother has asked if I would like to play it on stream called Rias. So I might try that on Thursday. My original thought was to do Rias today, but I spent the whole weekend doing these sound alerts, getting the audio for them figured out and learning how to do it and all that stuff. So that's why we're doing this today instead of Rias. And I'll probably do that on Thursday. Then Friday is Helldivers, and then current plan is Saturday, me and Skelly Fresh are going to do Helldivers as well. R-E-U-S, Rias. Yeah, we had surprisingly, we had a brownout this morning. We don't have those very often in America. It's the second one. Oh. Well. My gas seems a little low and I seem like I'm sleepy. So I'm gonna turn in. That worked. Okay, F6. Got 20 hours. Okay, E. Fill her up. 20 hours. I'm gonna sleep for 8, so I'll have 12 hours. Ooh, can I sleep with this big trailer? There we go. So, ooh, 11 hours. Okay. Yeah, we're almost there. All right, everything is going smoothly. I'm not going too crazy right now. But I gotta hit a sign occasionally. Yeah, the nighttime driving in this game feels pretty accurate. Yeah. Trying to tell me what to do. I don't even know what it means. It's like it's speaking to me in hieroglyphics or something. Red triangle. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna bird your sideways walking picture. I don't know what any hieroglyphics are. I just remember there's one that's a bird, and I think that's Osiris. But there's an eye, and then there's one that's like a person walking, and it's the... It looks like the thing that people do. I think it's the Egyptian dance. I don't know what it's called. I don't know dance stuff, but I know like in the 1950s or something like that, they had that kind of Egyptian dance thing going on. Maybe it was the 70s. I don't know. Drive a little slower around this police car. Man, the lighting. Well, I wouldn't want to run into the cars because I don't think they have collision, so it would just mess me up. Ooh, we have a big turn coming up. Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I think what the truck was doing is it was trying to move past the police earlier, and then it just kept driving, and it was planning to overtake me, and then it hit that point where it said, oh, I can't overtake you. So it wanted to switch back. That's my guess. Dude, what? Why would you stop in front of a merging area? Yeah, that definitely felt like a middle finger to me. Big Tim. This sounds like a prison name. I would not want to be rooming with Big Tim in prison. I don't know if European jails have the same reputation that American jails do, but man. Though I will say, Chinese jails probably the scariest. Yeah. I know people who went to Chinese jail. They were not the same after. Yeah. Yeah, one of my exes, her cousin, let's see, there was an uncle, a cousin, and two cousins, an uncle and two cousins, who all got put in jail for money laundering and embezzlement and stuff like that. And they were there for like 6 to 8 months, something like that. It was rough for them. But I am not the person who would be good to deal with when it comes to some of the stuff in China. Oh, so from what I have heard about it, they put you in a jail cell that's not big enough for you to stand up in and not big enough for you to lay down in. And they keep you awake something like 20 hours a day because they're trying to get a confession out of you. And they do that for months at a time. And then once they get the confession out of you, you basically get put somewhere and no one ever hears from you again. But I only know about the first part of that because that's where they got put. And one of her cousins had a heart attack in the process. Stupid sign. The other cousin, he used to be overweight. He lost so much weight really fast. He was a healthy weight when he came out. So I'm pretty sure it is not a diet plan that you would want to do. Yeah, Chinese jail is terrifying to me. Like they don't care. And so here's the thing, if I was in China, I would not be comfortable talking about any of this, but I'm not in China. I have no plans to go back to China, so I don't really care anymore. Yeah, China's a scary place when it comes to that kind of stuff. If you're just living there normally and no one is accusing you of anything, you're fine. There's no problem. If you're going there as a tourist, yeah, they were not sentenced. They were not put on trial or anything. They were arrested and then just kept in a jail for multiple months. They were accused, but they were not put into the courtroom. Yeah. And when they couldn't get a confession out of them and they couldn't prove that they had done anything criminal, then they just had to let them go at a certain point. And I will mention, the uncle was a very minor, well, I think he was minor. I know he worked for the government, so he would fall under the government worker or government whatever situation. The two cousins, one worked at a bank and the other one was a businessman. The guy that worked at the bank, he got fired because this happened. The businessman, he got heavily demoted at his job. He did not get fired, probably because he has too much dirt on the company, so the company couldn't fire him, but he got demoted. And yeah. Yeah, you can easily abuse the system and target innocent people, and the government will, or police, whatever, they will basically get a fake confession just to make the bad things stop. So from what I've heard, the way that they keep you awake is they shine flashlights in your eyes and they'll bang on the bars and stuff like that. But also it's a very uncomfortable place to be. Very uncomfortable situation. So, yeah. Pretty heavy stuff. Ah, stupid sign. Really? I'm still stuck on that sign. Move. Move, car. Move. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, well. I told them to move. They didn't move. They have got to make some of those signs breakaway signs. That is the most unrealistic aspect that there are. The street signs or city signs or whatever, that you can't knock those over. I don't know how I didn't flip. I was fully expecting to have to flip or to flip. Man. That's a good question. I have no idea if I will have made any money from this. I might just be breaking even. Yeah. I think this one was 13K. Okay, it's not this. Okay, we're gonna go wide on this. Yeah, I am driving the company truck. This does not look like my truck's interior. Well, since yeah, you can see I don't even have the bed back here. Okay, let's go a little bit more to the right. There we go. That's a nice light white turn. Yeah, I did buy my own truck with a loan. Yeah, I think that they pay out more. That's gonna take 3 hours. How much time do I have left? See, I didn't know about the F6 thing. I have 3 hours left. Yeah, as long as I don't screw up too much. As long as none of those damn signs block me again. It truly is all that sign's fault. Yeah, European roads are kind of small. Though I did live in Asia, and I would say Asian roads are comparable. American roads are quite massive. At least that's my perception of it after living overseas for such a long time.
前方左转。左转。
Yeah, I'll turn here in a second. Yeah, I dramatically prefer the metric system. When you spend over a decade where everyone uses the metric system, you get used to it, and it's so easy to learn. 100 is boiling for Celsius. 100 is boiling, 0 is freezing. Temperature is super easy to remember because of that, and you're always boiling water when you're in Asia. Height is measured in, yeah, I use Celsius and I use the metric system. So when someone tells me that they're 5 feet, I'm like, I don't know how tall that is, but if they tell me they're 160, that should be close to 5 feet. Then I'm like, oh, okay, I know how tall you are. I think 5 feet would technically be something like 150 something, 155. Because I think 150 is under 5 feet, but it's like 411. Yeah, Fahrenheit doesn't make any sense to me. In America, it's like, set the oven to 350 degrees. And I'm like, that sounds really hot. I can speed up a little bit. Yeah, but I don't get American stuff despite being an American. When I was overseas, I didn't spend much time with Americans, and when I did, they were usually just focused on when I leave here. And I'm like, I don't think about when I leave here. I think about what am I doing right now? I definitely feel like Americans either think about the next thing all the time, or they think about something from a long time ago constantly. And having something to talk about is one thing, but I prefer to try to, in my real life stuff, to focus a little bit more on the present. But most of the Americans I met, they're like, yeah, when I leave China, I was like, you're already thinking about when you leave China. It made them seem like they didn't want to be there. So then it's like, why are you in China? If you're focused on leaving, what you're gonna do when you leave gives me the feeling that you don't want to be here. Okay, we're gonna have to slow down. This is a very sharp turn. Yeah, Americans are all about the freedom to do stuff. It's fine. I think if I hadn't slowed down, I would have made it. I would have made that stoplight. I got time. I got time. Oops. F5. You run.
旅程还不错呢。
I think I should choose I'm in a hurry because I'm already almost late. Also, double trailer. Okay. It's a nightmare. I don't have much time left. I'm just gonna go with this. With the I'm in a hurry. Excellent driving. I didn't flip over. Plus 25% higher for long deliveries. Yeah, I'm gonna go for long distance. I'm gonna finish this off. Oop. And then we're gonna do another job. Before we do another job, let me go ahead and run ads. So that way we don't have the pre-roll on. Yeah, I will check the emails as well. Oh, that's I mean, if you can avoid the ads, then that's great. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like the ads. If I could turn off advertisements, I would. All right, let's check the emails. Where are my emails? Career, company, email. Your bank account is overdrawn. Yeah, I know. Your credit limit has been raised. Ugh. So, how does this whole bank loan stuff work? Like, should I do anything about this or just not worry about it? Okay. My money does seem to be more than it was, at least. Okay. Let's see. Let's do a quick job. Price. Oh wow, that's huge. There's a lot of money. Oh wow. Oh my goodness, I'd be going so far. All right, let's price per distance. Let's look at that. Ooh, what's this? Oh, this probably means precious, easily breakable, fragile. That's the word. Oh, that looks like a good one. I'm gonna go with this one. This one looks good. Oh, this is wide load. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. This one keeps me in Norway and doesn't look too long. And it's the same price as here to here was. The same reward. No, it's more. It's like more. And the job seems easier. All right. And we're off. We're off to the races. Signs, my mortal enemies.
在环形交叉路使用第二个出口。
Stupid signs. Trying to tell me what to do.
使用出口。
Yeah, I have because I'm always running into stuff. The quick job's probably a better choice for me as I learn how to drive things. Probably shouldn't have bought a truck yet, but it's fine. Stupid signs.
使用出口。
Because I'm going downhill, I'm not pressing the accelerator. This it's just the weight of the car. I'm worried that sign might not be breakable, so I'm not going to run into it. Okay, 50. 49, whatever, close enough. Man, these roads do feel very narrow. Oh, I wanted to move my skull. Where is it? All right. It is this. No, that's not. It's not that one. This one. Unlock. Move it down a little bit. Lock it. All right. No, you still can't. You still can't. You still can't see. My head's too big. Yeah, yours is placed around this area, but my head is too big. That doesn't work. Oh, if you hear any snoring, that's the dog. The dog is asleep and snoring right now. How's this? Ah, that's pretty close. Uh-oh. I tabbed out when I should not have. Okay. Let's move it over just a little. Yeah, so when I tab out, for some reason, it stops the music. Is that a setting? Options. Audio. Play sound from game in background. There we go. Now when I tab out, yeah. Great. I'm so used to games not allowing me to do that. There we go. Now you can see the other mirror. So you can see kind of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at both of the lines every time I'm driving. All the time when I'm driving. Trying to make sure I'm staying between the lines. It's not easy. The one that's on the right side is the one I look at way less. The one that's on the left side over here, that's the one I look at more. But now you can really see how bad I am at driving. What? Oh, loan installment. I think they would need to go around. Oh, hey, I can actually see the mirror when I'm doing this, so I could drive like this. Uh-oh.
继续执行。
I just have to remember which buttons to press. Yeah, my loans are kind of expensive, or maybe they're not. Okay, I'm veering way too much. I was trying to entertain myself by driving while looking out the window. Oh, they have the buzzing. When you go off the road, they have like a little brrr. It's a lot more noticeable. Yeah. In America, it's way more noticeable. I don't know about American Truck Simulator, but I know that my brother, not anyway. I don't need to get into the complicated dynamics of my life, but my brother, it's so anyway, he has driven and caused the buzzing to happen. I think the simplest way for me to explain it is I have multiple siblings. I don't just have one brother. I have multiple brothers. But anyway, I don't need to get into the whole dynamics of all of that. Yeah. And then it's just like with the whole Gandhi thing in China, like I don't need to get into all of that because it's complicated and I don't think anyone cares. But also it's complicated and I don't feel like explaining it. Yeah. I will say though, living overseas for a long time, you lose touch with people in America pretty easily. Because when you're in China, you've got super limited internet access. So it's not like I could just pop onto some Western social media and be like, hey guys, I'm here. So I was incommunicado with the majority of the people that I knew for extremely long periods of time. When I knew that China was that way before I went there, and I was like, well, I don't know how long I'm going to be there, so I'm not bringing a computer with me, so I just thought, I'm not gonna worry about any of that stuff. Because in my head, I'm like, it'll be what, 6 months, a year, and then I'll be back in a country that I can talk to everyone. And took about 3 years before I realized it's probably going to be a little longer than 6 months. Yeah, it only took 3 years. Could have taken longer. I want to go this way. God, is this a double trailer? It is. This is a double trailer again. Oh no. Well, at least I don't have to get on a boat this time. Yeah, I thought it would have showed me. But anyway, when I was in China, eventually I was like, all right, I need a VPN. So I got a VPN, tried to contact some people, and I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm in China. And they're like, you haven't talked to me in 3 years. What the hell do you want? Yeah, well, funny thing about that. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the vibe of it. And a whole lot of people had stopped using the social media websites that we frequented at that time. So then it was sort of like trying to hunt down a bunch of chickens that got loose in a forest. Just real difficult. I mean, that's just kind of how life goes. Sometimes you lose touch with people, and then when you try to reconnect, they don't want to reconnect, or they moved on with their lives, or maybe they remember you in a different way than you were. Especially when you live overseas. That's sort of a thing that you have to deal with, is that when you oh jeez, thank you. Yeah, I thought that was a decent dodge in the merge as well. I'm glad I at least noticed. But there's this feeling when you've lived overseas for a long time and you come back, it's almost like everyone assumes that your personality is the same as it was when you left. And so they have to take time to adjust to this new you that they didn't see grow and change. So for my mom, for example, she struggles with this kind of thing a lot, where so I'm 120, and she still thinks of me as being like 106, 107, right? So to her, I am over a decade younger in her mind than I really am. And there are certain things that I do, or that I think, or ways that I behave, and she just doesn't know these things. And that causes a lot of friction. Because I'm not the person that I was a decade ago. I'm a whole new skeleton.
靠右，
Cow yo. How about 我操啊?
使用右边的出口。
Yeah, I definitely have more of a traditional Chinese sensibilities than the American sensibilities about most things. And my
左转，
brother, who I'm currently living with, not the one that is the, so the one I'm living with right now, I would say is a pretty good driver. The one that drove and caused the buzzing in the car and stuff, I would say he's not a good driver. They're different people. But the one that I am staying with, it took him about 2 to 3 months to realize I'm not the person that he knew a long time ago. I'm a different person now. And ooh, my fuel is kind of low. I probably should have stopped. Is there another one anywhere? Yeah, there's another one a little bit later. Let's stop up here.
让我们开始吧。
No, I'm not more critical. I'm actually more I'm more likely to be standoffish about certain things. I'm less confrontational. I'm much quieter, according to him. In his mind, I was a very noisy person. Yeah, I think I used to be very, very confrontational, like, hey, if there's an issue, I'm going to talk to you about it. But now I'm sort of standoffish because I'm like, well, they could be having a bad day. There could be something culturally that I don't know. So, like with British people, for example, I don't always get their sense of humor. I don't get the dry sense of humor that British people have all the time. But my brother really doesn't get it. So for me, a British person might say something that's a little bit dry, or come off as a little bit mean in some capacity, and for me, I'm like, whatever, you know, I'll brush it off. But for him, he has that American sensibility where you say what you mean and you mean what you say. So if someone says an insult, then he's gonna be like, hey, don't be mean, don't say bad words, don't insult people. What else? If there is some conversation that's happening and I disagree with the person, I might just keep it to myself that I disagree with them. But I used to be very much like a, no, I think you're wrong. And for me, it's just like everyone can have their own opinions. They don't have to know or care about my opinions or my thoughts on a subject. And there are plenty of things that I don't even have a thought on. Empty head and all that. There are a lot of people who ask me, what's your opinion on this thing? And sometimes it's like, I don't have an opinion. I never even thought of that. Or it doesn't affect me, so I don't care. Yeah, it's sort of like when you play with someone. So I can be playful with certain people, and sometimes it can probably come off as a little bit mean at times, but I don't intend to be mean. And with Americans, that's really hard for them to tell sometimes. But with Europeans, they kind of get it. They're like, oh no, you're just goofing around. It's all good. With Americans, it's more of like a, I just want to make sure you know that this is all just, this is goofing. I'm not serious about anything. I'm also, so I describe myself as a very minimalist skeleton. I like to keep things simple. And my brother is a bit of a hoarder. So 98 to 99% of the stuff in the apartment is his. The few things I do, I'm going downhill. I need to slow down. The few things that I do have, I just keep in my room or my area, depending on what it is. Yeah, Americans tend to be a little bit more sensitive about things. And that's not necessarily it could be my connection, to be fair, because I keep getting you're connecting to chat. But I am recording. I'm recording everything. So I will be putting the VOD up. Oh, don't hit, no, don't, oh. So I record all this stuff now on the PC, directly to the PC. I'm at 2 hours and 6 seconds on the recording, but like the first 30 minutes. There you go. Yeah, the idea of coming off well is important to most Americans. And there's definitely a mindset for me of like, how long do I have left? Next rest stop is in 4 hours. Okay, let's see if I can actually rest here. Oh man, how am I going to turn around? This seems like it's not going to work. You're fine. All right. That was close. How am I going to do this? It's not giving me the snooze thing yet. All right. Let's try turning this way. Fence. There we go. Yeah, no one's here. No, I don't need fuel. All right. This is, yeah. I see your encouragement. I appreciate it. Oh, yes, sleep. Oh. All right. Oh, hey, this one has a sleep cabin. I was not sure if I could pull it off, but it's not my truck, so why not try? And it also prevents me from getting the sleepy fine. That adds up. Oh, that adds up so much. Okay, Yojuan. We are going Yojuan here. Oh, that was close. Going downhill. All right, man, everyone's going the other way at least. Or maybe the people behind me just can't get past me. Okay, we got a toll road coming up, so let's not go too fast. I have to drop down to 50 anyway. But yeah, I lost touch with a bunch of people, so I don't know very many Americans, and the ones I do know, they feel very abrasive. I think that's the right term. Like they're of the opinion that their opinion is the most important opinion. And it's like, well, the world's not quite that way. You can have opinions that are good opinions, but sometimes your opinions don't matter to some people. And it's okay. I would not expect anyone to think my opinions are super terribly important. No one's going to be like, hey, what's your opinion on the state of something? What's your opinion on Martian politics? I have no opinion. I don't know anything about them. I don't even know the political system on Mars. How am I supposed to know about Martian politics? The things I do know about are typically Asia related. And even then, I'm like, I mean, I'm an outsider thinking about a foreign country. I might have lived there a very, very long time relative to the lifespan of an average human. But, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is very true. It's just like for me, I actually care about stuff like Twitch and the VTuber scene and what's going on with that. But I think the majority of people do not care. And when I say what's going on with that, I don't mean the drama stuff. I mean like, okay, what rules does Twitch have about VTubers now? I actually got into Twitch before being a VTuber was a thing. I had a Twitch account back when it was I know the light was green, but I stopped anyway. Back when it was Justin TV. So yeah. I used to go to watch stuff on Twitch when it would be like, oh, this video game website is going to do a live stream, and they just happen to do it on Justin TV. Yeah, I would say I didn't really get into Twitch outside of like the corporate companies kind of people, like video game review websites or whatever, doing stuff on Justin TV, which became Twitch. I probably didn't really get too big into it until, trying to think, sometime between 2013 and 2015. That was sort of when I was like, okay, let me actually care about things. So there's a British guy named Wooden Potatoes, and he used to do Twitch stuff. He does not do Twitch things anymore. He also doesn't do much in general in terms of like he's got his own stuff that he's doing. I don't know how to put it. His video content has been less and less. And I definitely, hello, hey
A
Kelly.
little shot of liberty.
Some coffee. Yeah, that's one of the two sound bites for Caffeinate now. Pretty sure I spelled that right on the screen. I typed it really quick, so I can't remember. Hopefully I didn't just put caffeine. I think I put caffeine.
Big honkin' badonkers. I'm talking huge, massive chesticle sweater puppies. Humongolungas, belongolungas.
Yeah, the biggest kind of them all. It's fine. I know plenty of people that don't like coffee. They don't like it, period. I know some people who they can't drink it black. For me, I'm like, nah, give me the bean juice. Just give it to me black. Give me just the darkest of all bean juices. Let it soak. Cold brew, hot brew, doesn't matter. Just pour it over my bones. Yeah. So the way that I usually make coffee for people who don't like coffee is I do coffee, milk. Usually I go with a coconut milk because those tend to have sweeteners in them already, and then I will add some sugar. Powdered sugar seems to work best. And if I don't have powdered sugar, which was frequently the case in Asia, I would just put the sugar in my blender, my grinder, my coffee grinder, because I had an electric coffee grinder, and I would just grind it up in there and say, there you go, good enough. I can just wipe it out. It's not like it's a big deal to clean it. Just don't rinse it because it's electric. Just take a cloth and wipe it out. It's super easy to clean. And if you ever feel nervous or antsy about like, oh, it could turn on, which most of them, they don't turn on if the lid is off. But if there is any concern about that, you can always just take a chopstick and use that instead of your finger. Something like a fork, the back end of a fork or spoon or knife or something like that would work too, but I use chopsticks all the time. Yeah, I totally respect your feelings about like not wanting to have it as a requirement to wake up and stuff. For me, the main appeal of coffee is I don't drink soda. I don't drink most things. I basically just drink water and coffee. So it gives me something that I can drink that has a flavor that is not water. I don't drink juice very often. I typically don't eat sweet things. And while I'm totally comfortable to drink alcohol, I don't drink it much, and my brother is a very dry kind of guy. He does not drink. He's very straight edged. No drinking, no smoking, none of that stuff. And I do not smoke, but I will drink on occasion. Yeah, he is very straight edge. So for me, I typically drink water and coffee. I'm trying to think, it maybe like a couple of times a year. Maybe I should say a few times a year just to play it safe. Like more than twice a year probably, but I'll get something like I might get a bubble tea from a place if I happen to go to a place and I have the option of getting a drink, or I occasionally might get something like a Gatorade, but usually it's just water or coffee. Because I'm trying to be as, I'm thinking about like how I usually do things, and I'm like, all right, well, in the past year, no, past year's too short. Past 2 years.
How many pickles can you fit up your ass?
I can't. I can't fit any in my ass. My ass is too tight. Got one of those tight asses. I imagine a pickle would also be soggy, so it'd probably break off. A cucumber, no, a cucumber would probably also break off. I don't know. Depends on what kind of cucumber you're talking about. Well, you could probably poop out whatever it is if it breaks off.
继续执行。
But, but yeah, so cucumbers in America are like really girthy. Cucumbers in Asia are really long and bumpy. Cucumbers in Asia are bumpy. The cucumbers in America are very smooth. Well, I'm almost there. Come on.
靠右，
Cow yo. Cow yo. Ooh,
使用右边的出口。
Okay, we're gonna slow down because this is going downhill. Just letting it glide down. Ooh, an unbreakable sign, my mortal enemy. Hey, you shouldn't stop, stinky car. You should be able to. I haven't tried recently. Oh, okay, it's bugged. Ah.
行交叉路使用第二个出口。使用出口。
Man, that I feel like that's the same car from last time. That car is just out to get me. I can't see. There we go. Yeah. Yes, I have to mind them.
交叉路使用第一个
I have
出
to
口。
mind them. Okay, this is a sign I can knock over. Screw you, sign.
使用出口。我们已安全的来到了。
Yeah. have to go all the way over there. Yes, mind the mortals. All right. How much time do I have left? 1 hour, 5 minutes. I do not have enough time to try to do this one either. Sadly. We're gonna skip because I don't have enough time to do it. Where would I even go? Oh, geez, I'd have to call it. I'd have to go around like this and then try to line it up again. No way.